G2 destroyed Sentinels by using a bunch of mollies. In this classic North American slugfest, G2 put the nature of Vice's broken kit on full display. Every single round, Sentinels were locked behind these overpowered razor vines, and it was embarrassing. Lose sight, Thorns, die. Lose sight, Thorns, die. The Sentinels never broke the cycle. But come on, these things are just glorified sage slows. Are they really that broken? Well, Fracture is all about being proactive, and when you aren't, you are doomed to fail. Now, if you want to know which agents are broken on what maps, like Vice on Fracture, or who's going to be broken on Corrode, then you need to check out Blitz.gg. The Blitz desktop app is free and reveals stats about your ranked games that you'd never know. Like if you're matched with someone who's going to toss your elo, you'll know as soon as agent select. Blitz will also tell you your team's strengths and what your enemy's weaknesses are, so that you can play to them and win more. The app also tracks your best agents, maps, and weapons, telling you where you need to improve. Blitz also features a real-time in-game dynamic stats overlay that shows you whether or not you need to adjust your playstyle mid-game. Then once the match ends, there's a post-game insights analyzing every area of your performance. Blitz also supports League, Marvel Rivals, Apex, Fortnite, CS2, Palworld, Destiny 2, Escape from Tarkov, and a ton more. So, the Blitz desktop app costs you nothing, helps you improve, and fuels these high-quality videos. Guys, if I didn't believe in Blitz, I wouldn't have had them sponsor my channel literally 100 times. Download the Blitz desktop app for PC by clicking my link down in the description. Ever since I started playing Valorant, I've been a Sentinel main. Cypher, Killjoy, Chamber, you name it, I play them all, and that's why I love this map. Every Sentinel is viable and has their own specialty. On attack, Cypher and Killjoy can hold big chunks of the map and feed their team info. Then on defense, they can anchor site or play off to spam. Chamber can get one and get out on both sides, punishing aggressiveness. Then you got Sage and Deadlock who are better on offense as they help both put down a site once the attackers have it. And Vice fits in with those last two. Her Wall and Flower kind of give you a sense of where the defense have pushed out of. The same with her Flash. These are inconsistent, decent at best reconnaissance. But the strongest part of her kit are her razor vines. These metallic thorns are huge, make noise when you touch them, and last 10 seconds, which is a really long time. And if timed correctly, these things can rip apart a retake and shut the defense out of any round. They're so powerful that G2 have devised an entire game plan around them, starting with pistol. At the beginning of the match, G2's plan was to split A in a 4-1 north-south side crunch. Dish, similarly to Hookah and Bind, is awkward to execute from as you have to drop and are vulnerable mid-air. So sending 4 this way would be ludicrous, and the defense didn't expect it. In response, they tried flushing out A main, but died to John QT due to some bad spacing. But what nobody noticed was Leaf's Thorns in these smokes. If popped at the right opportunity, they would dismantle Sen's retake and buy a ton of time for G2 to pinch main with John, which was their intentions. When Raze, Brim, and Breach were trudging down main, Leaf activated his Thorns to stop his teammates from getting pinched. I mean, buying Thorns over an indestructible wall that gives you global information, this ability better be strong. And the thing is, G2 did this same identical play against Sentinel's first full buy. 4-1 split, the offense contacted up Dish with Breach's charged up fault line, ready to stun the first defender they see. The offense took site and Leaf thorned outside their smokes again, so Sen couldn't flood in, but they learned from their previous mistake and charged at John QT with proper spacing this time. After they realized it was the same play, Sentinels won their first full buy. What I'm trying to emphasize in these beginning rounds is that G2's entire game plan revolves around these Thorns. Including this round, G2 are slamming B this time in a 3-2, while center spread in a 2-3, where they're going to fight for A main, install on B. Here, hopefully these Thorns, Sheer, and Flash can buy enough time for the defense to rotate, flood in, and overwhelm the offense when they try to plant. Valen opens around with a Molly lineup to lock someone in tower, Vice flash for close, but Bang and Zelsis respond with a Sheer and smoke. In the north, Trent's Spider Drone is scurrying through Arcade, and it spots Vice's wall, forcing Jogamo to pause. On the south side, Leaf has spread out his own Thorns on stairs.
But why, Teets? Why would G2 molly themselves?
Is Leaf a bozo? No. Think, Timmy. On pistol and Sen's first full buy, their reaction was to push A main after being attacked from the opposite side. Dish. This round, G2 are hitting arcade, so it's smart to expect Sentinels to react by forcing out B main. These Thorns would stop them. Bang and Zelsis have no choice but to tuck into spawn. Reinforcements are on their way, and when Sen are ready, Bang's canceling out the offensive smokes with his own and are charging in. Because when you're playing against a Brim, your goal should be to stall long enough that the offensive smokes fizzle out. He only has 3. Then you use your smokes to flood in and maybe form crossfires with your theoretical site players. But the attacker's Vice Thorns make that impossible. Back to arcade. Jonah P is stunned, Jogamo nades, and Trent nukes tower. Remember that Grim Molly from earlier? Combine all these abilities together, and anyone in tower is cooked. G2 group, and triple swing the wall, which is Zelsis' trigger.
But on this map, they just ran a bunch of fast set plays. Oh, the repeat, but a boom in your face just makes it a bit of a mistake there still. It's answered back. That was John QT just layering down that covering fire. Thorns, that's a sound cue.
The Sentinels wanted to flood back out. They were all here, but couldn't. Because Leaf used his first Razorvine on stairs, Jonah P picked up the slack by blasting Jenny, which forced Zelsis to commit to this fight. John QT lined up a trade through the smoke, and Bang wanted to go too. He placed his smokes down, but realized that he's by himself. Okay, so just back out, right? Wrong. Because on this execute, Leaf's Thorns have locked him in. But what is he supposed to do? The smoke is fading, and Bang's about to be butt naked. So he rolled the dice, tried running away, but this sound cue cost him his life. Down 3-4, Sen still have a solid win condition. A fault line plus a couple guided salvos. And if G2 lose, they have to save. Sen need this round. So Zekin hops into his dimensional drift and spots Jonah P. He gets stunned, rockets inbound, but he drifts slightly to the right. Lucky for him, no one's canteen.
You're so good. Out, Jen, fight Jen. Tower and Jen.
One more front side.
Nice,
Let's fucking go. They use ult too.
Remember what I said, on offense, Killjoy and Cypher are good at gathering info, while the others are better at attacking and securing a site. So against agents like Deadlock, Sage, or in Sen's case, Vice, they need to get more proactive like they did on Pistol and their first full buy. These agents aren't that great at holding global map control. What the defense did last round, sitting in spawn and flooding out, isn't going to work. I mean, it can, but not against Vice. If these two lanes are being clogged, you need to push one of these two. That's the name of the game of defense when playing Fracture, fighting and being proactive so you have more space and an idea of where the attackers are. If you don't, you're going to get pinched and run into huge crossfires. And Sen have made that adjustment. In their Northern 3-2, the defense are flushing out this one half of the map, while G2 are grouped and want to split A through sand. Yes, Sen are giving up sight, but with Zelsis' Steel Guardian coming online, this retake should be in their favor since they're coming from 3 lanes. But to start the round, Leaf flashes main to make it look like last round, while the defense, I don't know, maybe they stun off this flash, we don't have a replay system, but just imagine a lot of this utility being used up here. Anyone in this area would get destroyed. Now a bulk of the offense are contacting through main, Stealth Drone leading the charge, Jonah P stuns the line, and as soon as this bot turns the corner and Raze opens the door, G2 go. Smokes get dropped, Boombot goes out, Thorns and missiles delay a theoretical flood, and the offense get into position. Raze satchels on the boxes, and Leaf rides the rope, tucking himself into Valorant smoke. Behind G2's 1, 2, and 3 mollies to lock Sen out, the offense are pretty comfy. But as Jonah goes to plant, Leaf realizes that this Rafter smoke is about to fade, and Zelsis is going to trap him up here with his Thorns if he doesn't move. He backs off, blasts the Razorvine, and Zelsis initiates his team's retake with his Steel Garden. Leaf acts fast and spreads out his own Thorns. If Zekin wants to wait these out, that would take longer than the ult lasts. Going Rafter is no longer a decision. So all Sen have left are Dish and Spawn.
Gonna be playing a bit of a difference. Leap goes down though, that's an aftershock. Meant to deal with this one. Shorty in hand, he's up on the high ground. Just laying down death from above. Still, it's Sentinels managed to regain control of the side. It comes down to the spam straight down main. These players are toppling Sentinels. It looked like they had an advantage, but just like that, turn of a dime, it's all gone the wrong way. A tap, they've earned half, but guns out wide.
Now Valorant's
got the ult, orbital strike. Your outs are dwindling, your options are out. And what can Zekin do? Salvos to work against. The rapid spike approaching. He's forced to save it away.
Zekken had a decent opportunity, actually.
Because the defense could not come out of heaven, none of Sentinels noticed Trent come out of door. He got his, but immediately ducked into cover with his magic missiles coming back online. With so much utility and such a good plant spot, Sen had zero chance in this retake. Despite having a good adjustment this round and flushing out the north side of the map, Leaf was once again a thorn in Sentinel's side. Get it? Because like thorn. Haven't we seen this opener before from both teams? Yeah, literally the exact same. Vice Splash, a bunch of stuff on the north side, the defense pinch the top half of the map, and the offense move up A main, spider up the gut, people out stands, and even the same Thorns. But Bang thinks he's a hero.
I'm Batman.
He's feeling the heat. My God, what a shot to hit. But they know where he is now with only 2 bullets left to work with. It's a quick cleanup indeed by Jonah P. The Thorns popped off as the flood attempt is occurring. Sentinels.
These mollies are cooking Sen alive. Because Bang got his molly off just in time, he hopped out of dish and isolated Sands from the main players. He isolated the entry, repositioned into heaven, and almost got Jonah P. But this play bought just enough time for his team to flood out and get tangled in this barbed wire. Maybe Zealous swung too early before the Vandal was ready, but did he? If he waits and lets these Thorns spread out, G2 just get to set up in their post plant. These slows have been eviscerating Sen's retakes, and if they don't want to get blown out of their own map pick, they need to get proactive elsewhere. What are they doing? Are we just playing on site? Everyone just doing their own thing? Okay, to be fair, Sentinels do have their Rolling Thunder, Orbital Strike, and Armageddon, so retaking a site with all of this isn't that bad of a plan. I think Zekken even has a retake clone? I wonder what that's going to be used for. And now G2 are doing the same plan again? Are they filming a challenge for content? I don't get it. I mean, if it works, go for it, but Trent needs to prepare himself for an aggressive push from the defense. And with the same sheer holding his flank, I guess he should be okay. The round opens up and Zekken... Wait, why? Shouldn't your gate crash go offsite for retake? Okay, well, the offense are contenting up dish again. Jonah P ready to start off their command. Trent is crabbing down main and... oh, now I get it. In the past few A-splits, the offense have slow walked behind the spider, and by doing it again, the defense are going to think that an army's following it. But Bang is calling G2's bluff and mollies his smoke. Back on dish, Zekken spots the offense and is out. But Jonah saved his stun. If Yoru's going to get out, what's the point? Jog satchels up, boombots, nades, Thorns, and Yoru, where's your second gate crash? You're toast!
He heard that one as a Rolling Thunder clears his way through. Oh my, the clone on top to try and fake and obfuscate where he could be hiding, but he cannot escape from that Jorgamo sightline. Bang! Makes an attempt of it, putting a squeeze onto the side players, but G2 are just overwhelming it, man. Holding it down, they know what to expect.
And so much good utility to stop the flood from coming through.
Sentinels have been shut out again. And with so many ults online, Yoru, what was your plan? Hopefully Jogamo whiffs his rocket on this bouncing decoy. And now John QT's Armageddon was perfect for splitting the offense apart, but no one could help Bang. Narrate got caught in the initial Razor Vine and kaboom, John QT couldn't go in, and if he moves, he gives away his position and gets spammed like Bang did on round 4. Bang tried following up off his teammate's ult and fought sight, but ended up getting pinched by Trent. Then on top of all this, Valen throws in his molly, and the remaining Sentinels finally get it in their heads that they cannot retake and are forced to save. And on their way out, they gotta think to themselves that they can't be sitting on site like that. Push one half of the map and retake through 3 different chokes. G2 can't molly everything. The Sentinels take a time out to figure out why they're losing so bad. Coach, what are we supposed to do? This Vice is such a thorn in our side. Maybe try not pushing through the Thorns? That's a good idea. Coming out of the timeout, both teams have solid adjustments. G2 are splitting B in a 1-4, but have Vice this time as the solo player. Leaf is going to slap his flash in this position to catch this lane and a dish push while his wall holds an A main flank. Compare this to a Cypher who can use his cam and cages to push up and gather more accurate info safely, or a Killjoy turret that she can swing off of. There are gaps in Leaf's plan. What if someone dodges the flash? Or how is he supposed to clear Arcade on his own? I told you, Vice isn't as great at holding map control. But luckily for Leaf, Sen have decided to push out of A in their 1-4. Zealous' plan is to stall on site and buy time for rotates, while these 3 mush through main and backstab the offense while they clog up spawn. But both teams just came out of a timeout. Are G2 expecting Sen to get aggressive? Round 8 opens up with a fake smoke from the defense, emulating a push out of B, which stalls G2 for a second, but no one's there. The offense continue past the smoke, while the defense have nuked early for control of A. But as more time passes, they feel more confident to push up. But G2 are already going B.
This drone spots him, which no one is here.
But Sentinel react pushing.
Right here, yeah, they're through. Already on through the choke point. It's a fault line. Armageddon, there's no chance.
You're done so.
You're done so. Straight into the open arms and the fire in line.
Yeah, I don't even know how you play around this if you're Zelsis. Teo has his ult, and if his drone spots you with this comp, you're just cooked. Sure, maybe play offsite, but then Teo just saves his carpet bomb. Zelsis' wall couldn't even save him. Teo is nuts. But Sen's own spider drone and all that commotion has encouraged the defense to push through A. And they've triple swung Leaf's wall, alerting G2.
Who's there? For. Look at this read. It's the wall, I think, that was triggered. They got to know that there was something up on towards the flank. Something was smelling up, and it's onto Zekken. Layering down. That's suppressive fire indeed. Gets the one. Still alive. 56 health to work with. He's making his way forward. John QT.
Sure, Sen lost the duels in main, but this proactiveness has burned the duration of G2's spawn smokes, allowing John QT to safely bag 2 kills. This leaves Leaf, who's been by himself all round in a 2 versus 1. And G2 can be anywhere. Yoru's just taken the rope to reposition. What does he do?
And Zekken relocates, takes the rope. Oh, and John is too good for it.
Nice.
Last round, Sen finally made the adjustment to push out one part of the map and flank G2, which is the counter to Vice and their Thorns stall the retake game plan. All it took was that one round for G2 to make their own adjustment. They're starting in a 1-1-3-0, where G2 are holding for Sen's push for the first half, but then are grouping up on one side for the second. Now center back in their 1-4. No lasers or carpet bombs online for the defense, so Zelsis should be okay. But are these guys going to get proactive again? How proactive? When? Who? Where? What? Why? So many questions, let's get some answers. The barriers drop and both teams trade pieces of the map. The defense get A main with a couple rockets and Leaf flashes past bank smoke for B main. Now it's been 8 seconds and the defense are already rotating? Maybe because Valorant placed a smoke for Arcade and Zelsis heard this flash? These could have been early signs of him about to get dookied on again, so he's panicking that it's B? What happened to pushing out and getting proactive? The thing that won you the 2 rounds that you have. Well, G2 have noticed that across all 4 lanes, Sen aren't coming. Their mid-round decision is for these 2 North players to take the rope, go back south, and execute A. Now, if you're Sentinels, the perfect mid-round call would be not to flank as early as last round, but instead delay the push until 40 to 50 seconds. Think about it. This round, G2 are now ready for you to get proactive, and we're in a spread default that counters your push. But by delaying this aggressiveness halfway through a round when G2's grouping up, you would destroy them. This would catch the offense with their guard down. But instead, they're going A without a worry in the world. John QT tries to drone and get an early read, but Jonah P aftershocks him through spawn. That's sus. What do they not want John to see? Sen are curious and rotates are called over. G2 continue to contact through main, but the defense are ready. Bank smokes drop, Zekken and Narrate go for a double peek on main, but they gotta move.
And if they try and contact play into it, it's a Steel Garden. Respect shown. Smoke split up the site. Util of their own going to be used and expended, trying to slow them all the way down, but Jogamo's straight in there.
It's amazing retake ultimates here for Sentinels.
Leaf Steel Garden has pushed back the defense, but on their way out, John and Narrate tried fault lining and nuking anyone coming out, but Jog's movement was way too smooth. With site secure, Leaf throws down his Thorns, which should cancel out Zekken's Dimensional Drift.
Zekken can give them full info for the breach ult.
And here it is, Dimensional Drift. It's going to point to the direction for his team to let loose, really. As you mentioned, potential there with a breach shot, but John QT has gone down. Almost found one onto Bang as well. And the ults let loose. There's 20 seconds left into this. Zekken's just trying to buy some time for the rest of his team to get in.
First, it was the Aftershock. Then, the Rolling Thunder. Zekken is giving his team wall hacks and is orchestrating all of this stall. He and Breach want to peek main off these stuns and flashes, but can't with these darn Thorns in the way, and Jogamo camping drop after riding through these smokes. And now, during the chaos, these 2 double peek door, and Raze did timing the smoke successfully. Sen are down 3 to 5, but the offense are locked out of sight, and time's running low.
Could be the difference maker. 13 seconds, he needs to clear this guy up. He's got 1 for his troubles, but it's all answered. G2, lock and key is what he got to side under. Zelsis creeping around the corners, but even the drop just being watched for. 7 to 2 now.
Sen take their second timeout to stop this bleeding. What are you guys doing? I said push, get active. I'm not seeing enough movement. You need to retake through more chokes so you don't get boned by these thorns. What if we bought an op? Coming out of the timeout, Sen are desperate, but without any money, all they can do is have John buy a Vandal, drop it to their duelist, and say a prayer. Now, maybe it's because they're broke, but they're still not getting proactive enough. Everyone is standing in spawn, except Zekin. Breach is lining up his fault line to help him take fights, but that's it. Do we really think we're gonna retake through spawn with a bunch of pistols through Thorns? Why not send 2 or 3 more people to follow the Vandal and pick it up if he dies? G2 are splitting B. Vice and Brim are ready to fend a B push off with this high flash, while the rest of their team are pounding it down arcade. The round opens up with Valen blasting his molly through the sky, and when combined with these missiles, they fully clear tower. But this flare is the same signal that has started every B hit this game. The defense knife out through spawn, but can't do anything. Vice has already locked them out behind her razor vines. Again! The defense are stun locked, while G2 get to do whatever they want on site. Yeah, Zelsis, the attackers are here. Sick flash, dude. And why are our smokes down so early? When it's time for the retake, how are you going to deal with players in B main? Yours are going to expire. And why did we smoke off our Vandal? Our 1 win condition. Whatever, these Thorns aren't just burning Sen's time, but they're smokes too. They're getting blue-balled. But all hope isn't lost. Teo's drone is scurrying through arcade, clearing a path for Zekin to come on in and retake through arcade. A new third choke. Once it's clear, he lines up a flash for his teammates to come out, but gets dookie done. Imagine if he had somebody to pick up that Vandal.
Actually, on the site. They're going site, guys. They're on site now.
Can you get Molly next? I have missiles.
No Molly.
Okay, I missile next.
Push him,
Stunning. Beautiful.
Sen actually got around. After their save, G2 lost the 1 in 4 chance gamble and walked right into the only part of the map that Sen was fighting.
We don't know what to expect. We really don't. Bullets are hitting, connecting, bang, pressing the advantage as a Sen. They're trying to get ahead of these timings that G2 are taking. Works out in their favor, but it's going to be util use pound per pound. And Shonapi push forwards into it to scramble, an attempt of salvage from here. G2 to get that spike back, and it's very apparent which area of the map they're trying to fight over at this point. Sentinels.
Granted, it did come down to these 50-50 duels that Narrate won, but without a raise or breach, G2 just didn't have enough firepower to bring things back. But now, it's the last round of the half, and Sen are still banking on this op. And look at sight. I don't know if I totally understand this setup. Is the decoy some big distraction for him to teleport and make a play? And again, no one's really fighting for anything. You would think being close to so many ults, Sen would push this half of the map like they did in the first rounds of this half. Or at least fight for main. And G2 are going B. You know the drill. Flash for close, drone up arcade. The defense hear this and rotate over just to get locked in by Vice's Thorns.
Sight instead of the safety of Jenny.
Good luck dealing with this. Showstopper unleashed.
Not up. Up, coming up arcade.
Yeah, he's up main. A missile tower for you. One more. I just stunned them. Nice. Should be main behind your wall.
Okay. Never saw Vice. Can technically go through A main to spawn.
Okay. Nice.
Do we see Vice?
He's probably here.
Can you pick off me? Yeah. I'm direct. I'm stunning.
Nice, boys. What a fucking end to the half. Come on, run.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. G2 should have won this round too. Yeah, Sentinels did great to bring the offense to a standstill with their molly and later wall, but Bang shouldn't have been able to come out like this. If you look closely, Leaf razored Vine Jenny and Breach blew his aftershock in the same exact place. Imagine he aims at that canteen and Bang can't come out and form a crossfire with Zelsis. This is what Sentinel's game plan was all game. Offense go in, smokes get placed, Sen place their own, and flood. After 11 rounds, they finally pulled it off, but because G2 let them. Man, Sentinels have had it rough on this channel lately. Remember when Nats boned them and single-handedly sent them home from Masters Bangkok? Here, it happens in this video.